What is up, you guys, and welcome back. I'm so excited for this look today. It's a very natural look, you guys. I love it. It's smoky, but it's still natural earth tones, and that's why I love it so much. But if you would like to see how I achieve this look, please keep on watching, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Be a part of this dysfunctional family, because that we are. We're very dysfunctional over here, but that's okay. We accept our flaws. If you are new to my channel, hey, how you doing? My name is Tony. Nice to meet ya. And without further ado, let's get into this look. Okay, so starting off with our eyes, as you guys can tell already, I started off by doing one eye off camera, just to make the process a little bit easier, but I am going to go back off camera and finish my face off. But to get into our eyes, the two palettes we are using today is the Saharan 2 and the Nubian by Juvia's Place. And y'all, if you don't own any of these palettes, what are you doing, child? What is she doing? You have to get these palettes. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm missing like 3 or 4 from Juvia's Place. After I collect the 3 or 4 that I don't have, then I'll have the whole collection. But I do believe she's coming out with like the Warrior collection, like the Warrior palette. I believe that's gonna be like a whole collection within itself, but we'll see. I'm not sure, but we'll see. But yeah, they're good palettes. So the first thing I'm going to start off by doing is taking the Saharan 2 palette, and I'm taking the color Taza. It's like a orangey brown transition shade, and I'm just placing that into my crease using a blending brush, a fluffy blending brush. And matter of fact, before I do that, I almost forgot, I'm going to set my eyelid. You can set your eyelid with any concealer that you would like to set it with, but the trick is you don't want to set the concealer. You want to leave the concealer tacky so that the shades will show up more vibrant and it'll be more bold. So just setting the eyelid. And to do that, I'm just using LA Girl Pro Concealer, and this is in my skin tone shade, which is Fawn. I'm just placing it all over the eyelid. And as you guys can see, today's look is more of, you know, a natural look. Well, it's not natural as in like everyday natural. It's natural as in warm tone naturals. This is more of a nighttime look, like maybe an evening look, nighttime club look, whatever you want to call it. It's a very smoky look, but it's still natural, if you catch my drift. So now that our eyelid is primed and ready for eyeshadow, I'm going back in with that Taza shade and placing that into my crease. And I'm going to start off by just packing it in first. And by doing that, you're going to get the most color payoff. Because if you just go directly in swiping instead of, you know, packing it on and then swiping it, it's just gonna take longer to build up the color. So you want to pack it into the concealer rather than swiping it. So y'all, I'm so happy to be filming. Like, it feels like it's been forever since, you know, I really sat down and had a consistent schedule. But if Jesus says the same, I will be back on my regular video schedule. My life just got really busy all at once, and it made it super difficult to keep up with the video schedule, so I had to, you know, stop for a little bit. But I am back. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Okay, and now I'm just blending out the edges of that shade. Like so. And this look is so easy, y'all. So easy. So easy. So once you have that shade in, we're going to go in with our next color, which is Fez, and this is out of the Saharan 2 palette. It's this deeper reddish burgundy brown shade right here, and I'm placing that a little bit lower than that first transition shade. At this point, it is okay if you're swiping, because the first transition shade kind of, you know, set the concealer in place. So now the first transition shade is kind of like a base for the next shade that we're applying. So you can still pack it on to get the most color out of it, but at this point, you know, just do what you do. Start blending your shades. I hope y'all can see. I'm like way down. Out of focus. Am I out of focus? I mean, out of camera. And just going back in with the first transition and applying it to the edges, just so we don't lose it in the process. And also to blend out the edges. Now just going back and packing on more color till I'm happy with it. So I started watching this show called Queer Eye, and y'all, this has to be the most funniest, most beautiful, most amazing show ever. It's 5 guys. They're called the Fab Five, and they're going around Georgia, and they're just making up people who need it. They're giving people makeovers who need it. And it's a great show. If you haven't seen it, y'all need to look at it. At least look at one episode. Of course, they're gay guys, and I know some people have their reserves on gay people, but I love them. And the show is just amazing. So amazing. So amazing. Okay, now that I have that mostly what I want it to be, I'm going into my Nubian palette, and I'm taking the darkest shade in that palette, which is right here. And I'm going in with a brush. The same brush, is just, you know, a different one, but it's the same, if you catch my drift, right? Okay, but I'm going in with the same brush, same type of brush with that shade, and placing it a little bit lower than that second transition shade, and all over the lid, and that's going to be our lid color for today. How was you guys' 4th of July? Did everybody have a good 4th of July? I did. Just hung with my beautiful family. And ate. And I'm just packing it into my lid with my finger, just to move just a little bit faster, because I'm using a blending brush instead of a flat shader brush. It's taking, you know, more time than usual. But the reason I'm using a flat shader was because, or the reason I'm using a blending brush instead of a flat shader was because I was blending it into the crease as well, not just applying it to the lid. And I know you could have, you know, took a flat shader and packed it on and blended it with the previous brush, but I'm different. I gotta be extra and difficult. Okay, now that I have that placed where I want it, I'm going to go back into that previous shade, that reddish maroon looking shade, and go back over it so that it looks like it's transitioning up instead of transitioning down, because normally people start from the crease and work their way to the lid, which in this case I did, but I want it to look like I worked my way up, so I'm just going back in with the previous colors. And it's just for a more seamless look, because I'm not doing a cut crease or anything, so you know, just making it look seamless, that's all. Yeah, I'm trying to convince my boyfriend to let me do his makeup for you guys, but y'all, it's so difficult because he's such a medley man, and anything makeup he don't want it on his face. He's let me do it before, but he didn't have a choice. So now that I actually want to do it on camera, he keeps telling me maybe. Every time he say maybe, that means no. I know, because my daddy used to do that. I used to ask my dad, could I like go to a party or go to a football game, and he would always say maybe. And then I come back a couple of hours later and ask him again, and he'd be like, no. So that, I know what that maybe is. I know what it is. But I'm gonna get him on here. Don't worry about it. And now the last and final shade that we're using for today's look is in our Saharan 2 palette, and it's called, girl, what is this called? Aziza. It's like the champagne gold shade. It's a champagne color, but it has reflects of gold in it. And I'm just taking that and putting that in my brow bone. Now when you place it, it looks more gold. It looks more gold than anything, but it's still a very pretty color. And just placing that right in the brow, the highest point, like the arch of the brow. That's it for our lid, you guys. That's all. So how simple that was. That was so simple, wasn't it? I know, girl. I know it was so simple. So simple. Okay, so both eyes are finished. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and do my face makeup off camera. Then I'm going to come back and finish up the lower lash line with you guys. Pop on a lip color and we'll be done. Okay, you guys, so I am back. My face completed, highlight, eyelashes, and everything. The eyelashes I have on are the I Wore Vegas Nays Absolute Allure, and y'all, they are my favorite right now. They're so wispy and long. I like long, thick eyelashes, big, bold, beautiful eyelashes. So yes, these are my favorite right now. For my highlight, I use Fenty Trophy Wife, and I went ahead and applied that on top of that shade, that Saharan 2 shade, and my brow bone, just for some more gold. Yes, y'all see that popping? Ooh. Yes, honey. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do our lower lash line right quick. And just popping back into that Saharan 2 palette, that very first transition shade that we took. We're going to apply that to our lower lash line. And this is the shade that's going to be the furthest away from the waterline. So you want to kind of drag it down. like so. And now we're going into that second transition shade, this more maroon shade. This is the shade we just used. We're going into this one right here now. And we're just getting closer and closer to the lash line. And for the last and final shade, we're going to take that darkest shade out of the Nubian palette and place that right at the edge of our waterline. And I'm taking a very precise flat brush, a very precise flat brush, and to place that right at the edge. Okay, and the last and final thing we're going to do is go back into Trophy Wife, and we're going to place that in our inner tear duct area. First, I'm going to apply it without my brush being wet just to see how it looks. Okay, so that is our eyes complete. All I'm gonna do for my lips though is just apply the gloss by Fenty Beauty, and this is the Fenty Glow. And yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for my lips. That's really all I ever do for my lips, unless I'm feeling some type of way and put on a liquid lip. But I normally just apply a gloss. So, and I just pop that on. And I love this gloss so much. It's so smooth and it's not like sticky. You know how some glosses are real sticky? It's not like that. I love it so much. Okay, you guys, and this is the look completed. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I loved making it, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and that's it.